Christian and especially from Catholic religion. So, but first, and unfortunately, this is the story that I would at least partially read from the text, because this is not my expertise to the end, this special enlightenment in Poland, and so I'm not sure. I will not improvise. I will start to bring you the facts which seem to me definitely established today. And so, first, international context. We approach in the era of so-called enlightenment, scientific revolution. Francis Bacon, John Locke, René Descartes, Immanuel Kant, Isaac Newton. These are these geniuses which contribute to this new era, sometimes called the era of reason. French Revolution, individual liberty and religious tolerance is promoted. Reductionism is invented as a scientific method. This is a very interesting thing. This reductionism, this is the method which is to analyze any scientific problem in its parts. So in order to understand even complex issue, you part it. You divide this for small parts and you reduct the complex issue to simple series of more simple issues, and you study these issues and you think that after this you can have knowledge of this synthetical issue also. Today, of course, if you know chaos theory, for example, this reductionism is passé. We don't use this in many even scientific methodologies. The reductionism is rejected. But even in the middle of the 20th century, reductionism was still, and in many situations, it's still very useful. So this is a really groundbreaking scientific method. Questioning of religion. This is very important. In Poland, you will see this is not so really easy. For me, the most crucial message which I always identified with enlightenment was the sentence by, of course, Kant, who wrote in his essay, What is Enlightenment? Sapere aude, dare to know. And this is something which kind of defines this enlightenment as the new time of reason. This is also the time where Poland was not only Poland, but was strange commonwealth, mixture of different cultures, and as you can see, extremely large territory. More context. Peter the Great, the Russian Tsar and Emperor of Russia, modernizes the country through industrialization, the first navy, educational institution, and the new Russian capital, St. Petersburg. Thousands of people died in building St. Petersburg. He, the Russian Tsar, chose for the new city the most dangerous place, I think, in Russia, full of wet earth, totally unadjusted to any buildings, and so people were really dying. Two Central European powers emerged, very important, because this power would contribute to Polish partition in the future, Austria and Prussia. Ottoman Empire gradually fades away on the Black Sea. Poland was at the time the second largest country in Europe, with a population equal to Spain and the Kingdom of Great Britain. Of course, French and Germany was much better. Polish democracy of nobles was dominated by aristocratic oligarchs. Economically backward, it was a state of serfdom and farming. This backwardness was kind of defining and blocking this modernization. All these attempts to modernize Polish society actually failed. The democracy of nobles, this was actually beautiful in theory. It looks like kind of very democratic situation that these nobles, of course, these people who could afford, these people would kind of govern by voting. But this whole democracy was also based on very crazy so-called liberal veto. Everybody, and it was enough, the one person, everybody could stand during the voting and say, I do not agree. I have the right and the freedom to say no to this decision, to this legal concept. One person was enough to stop the proceedings. And so you can imagine the corruption. If you are a rich oligarch, if you are a rich aristocrat, and you want to pass your own dealing, your own businesses, so you will promote some decisions, you would block some other decisions, and for this, it's enough that one poor noble was paid by you, and this guy would stand up and say, liberal veto, my free not agree. And so this is something that totally destroyed this so-called democracy, because one person would block. And of course, this usually was used against any modernization attempts.